Hello YouTubers, my name is LethalGhost, and this is the Cycler Rifle. It is quickly becoming my favorite weapon in the Star Wars Battlefront Beta because of that one-shot headshot though. That's right, it is a one-shot headshot at any range. Point blank across the map, it is a one-shot headshot no matter what. Now, I like this weapon a lot, and it is my favorite one in the beta so far.
Ooh, look at the body!
But I think it's going to need a slight nerf, because, look at that, it does 90 damage to the body from any range. Couple that with a 9-second cooldown, and I think that's a little bit overpowered. I think a damage of about 50 with a 9-second cooldown would be fine. The Cycler Rifle is a projectile weapon, so you see those bubble shields that people get around them? Yeah, it goes through that. It goes through bubble shields, and it does a good amount of damage to vehicles, which is fine, but I think about 50 damage to the body should be fine. It is a projectile weapon, so it does have travel speed to it, so you have to lead those shots a little bit if they're farther out there. But look at that, again, 90 damage to the body, and a quick cleanup with the blaster, no problem. So this is a beta impressions video, so what are my impressions of the beta? It is pretty good so far. As I split the goalpost right there, one of my concerns is map balance on Walker Assault. On Hoth, with all the rounds of Walker Assault I've played, there has maybe been one round that the Rebels actually won. 99% of the time, the Empire wins. So is this going to be a theme on all of the other Walker Assault maps too? And here's one of my other concerns about the beta. See how I just chucked that grenade down the hallway there? Look at the cooldown on the grenade on the right hand side of the screen. Yeah, it's 9 seconds until you get another grenade. That's kind of an issue. So then people aren't thinking about when is a good time to actually use a grenade. It's just, well, I can use it now and I'll have one back in about 9 seconds. So if you're about to go around a corner or go down a hallway and you're not sure if it's clear, just go ahead and throw a grenade. You'll have another one here in about 9 seconds. It's not that big of a deal. I think the cooldown should be at least 30 seconds to cut down on grenade spam, because that is something that I have seen a lot of in just the 2 days of playing the beta. And I'm sure you guys have too. As I throw a grenade and my enemy does too. Now, if you would have noticed, he came in with the jump pack there. And that is one thing that I have been really happy with in the beta, is I think they did the jump pack really well. Because, you know, yeah, it almost is kind of like a get away with your life free card, because if somebody starts shooting you can hit it and you're out of there. But, you know, if you didn't go as high or it didn't last as long, it just wouldn't feel good, you know, it wouldn't feel authentic. And here is the personal bubble shield. You know, I'm really happy with this too. It doesn't stop everything. It won't stop grenades, and it won't stop the Cycler Rifle. But, you know, it feels really good, and, you know, I don't think it lasts too long at all. I think they did a good job with that. Now, these emplaced weapons here, the one that I'm in and then the one directly in front of me, I think they're a lot of fun to jump in and use. And they're not overpowered. You know, they do a lot of damage. And they do have splash damage as well, so you can rack up the kills like I'm doing here. But they overheat very quickly, so you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. and you can't keep sustaining fire, so you have to make the most of the shots that you do have with it. I think they balance these really well. But then the smaller ones that it just looks like a blaster on a tripod, those are absolutely atrocious. You would think that they should be a little bit overpowered because you're completely out in the open, because you don't get in it like you do in this emplaced weapon. You stand outside of it and you aim it like that, but your body can't move, so you're completely exposed. But they do shit for damage. They don't do a whole lot. So risk versus reward, there's really no reason to use them. And here we have the battle pickup for the AT-ST, aka the Chicken Walker, aka the AT-AT's little baby hoof. Now, this vehicle is fun, and it feels like you're actually piloting an AT-ST. They're not very maneuverable. In the game, they can't reverse at all. And I'm a little disappointed that they don't have a first-person view, but if you know anything about AT-STs, you know what the first-person view would be. You're basically in a steel box with a little pinhole to look out. And right there, you see how capable it is at taking down a hero. He had about 30% health left, and it was pretty quick to get him down with the AT-ST, of course with a little help from the teammates as well. But here's one of my really big issues with it, and why I wish it did have a first-person view. You see those little sparks in that little cliff face ahead of me, and right there in the snow? Those are actually my shots. Nowhere near where my crosshair is aiming at all. That's where this is going. So that's kind of an issue that I have. And it's not just with the AT-ST. This crosses multiple weapon platforms. As you see, I can't reverse there, so I have to turn around. But the blasters do it, the cycler rifle do it, everything that you shoot does it. Any vehicle, any weapon. And that's another thing that I'm really not happy with is the air vehicles. I have flown all of the air vehicles, and they all handle somewhat differently, they do, but they all handle like garbage. I mean, they are an absolute nightmare to fly, and it's not very fun. It's really, at least for me, it's not. Might be fun for other people, but it's really not fun for me. And here we see Luke Skywalker again. This will be the third time that I've killed him this match. And did you see how I was struggling to get a good shot on him there? That's not because my aim is bad. That's because the vehicle sensitivity for aiming is different than your blaster sensitivity for aiming. And in the beta, at least, there is no slider for separate sensitivity for vehicles and your hand weapons. And here we go again. Do you see those sparks in the snowbank right there? Those are my lasers again. Nowhere near where my crosshair is. Hopefully they can get it fixed by the time the game releases, but I'm not getting my hopes up for that. Besides the shots going much lower than where you're actually aiming, there are a couple things that are great about the lasers. I'm happy that they didn't give the lasers drop, because lasers having drop would kind of be ridiculous. They look great. They sound great. I mean, they sound authentic. They look authentic. I mean, it is gorgeous. That is one thing for this game. It is really pretty. And here we have the AT-AT. The Papa Bear, the thing that could eat an AT-ST if it had a mind to. This thing is a beast. But this part of the video here really goes back to what I was talking about earlier. On Walker Assault, on Hoth anyway, for the Empire, the map balance is ridiculous. I mean, here you can see Rebels, the enemy team, spawning right in front of this huge AT-AT. And it does a lot of damage, as you can see. They're spawning right in front of it. If there is someone in this AT-AT for these entire set of uplinks here, there's absolutely no way that they could ever get them armed. There's no way that they can win whenever it gets to this point. So if all the maps are like this for Walker Assault, this game mode's gonna be a bust. I mean, it is fun, but I've never lost when I was the Empire, and I never won whenever I was on the Rebel team. So already knowing the outcome, as soon as you load up the game and you see what team you're on, I mean, this game mode is going to lose a lot of replayability, and it's not going to be fun for very long. I wish they would have put another Walker Assault map in, so then we'd have a good idea if maybe all of these maps are going to play out that way, or at least two. Plus, I was really excited to fight on Endor. Anyway guys, my final impressions on this game is there's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff, and there's some really bad stuff. Tell me what you guys think about the Star Wars Battlefront Beta. Tell me what you do like, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you'd like to see added. Till next time guys, shoot straight, check your six, and stay lethal.